I'm so excited.
Okay, so I don't know if I explained to you what the gene keys are.
No, we didn't get into anything.
Okay, so because you're recording it and it could be useful for others, I'm going to go into the whole spiel. Is that cool?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so the gene keys, um, the origin of this is very, very interesting. Um, the I Ching, I don't know if you ever heard of the I Ching, it's very ancient Chinese wisdom based on the 64 permutations or changes um, between yin and yang.
Okay.
Um, and those 64 archetypes, if you will, are symbolized with the different ways in which yin and yang can combine. And there are 64 ways. And they're called hexagrams because there's 6 lines. You don't have to remember any of this. It's not really that important. But there was this English poet. His name is Richard Rudd, who was very studious of the I Ching. And he's a mystic and like a very beautiful soul. And at some point during his studies, he received a transmission of what these 64 hexagrams were really about. And they're a binary code that is an exact correspondence with our 64 codons in our genetic DNA.
Okay.
So, and what they do is they open you up like a book, and they allow you to go from the shadow states or frequencies into your gifts. So you come of the 64, all of us come with 11 particular attributes, which he termed the first 4 are our genius. So you are a genius. And it allows us to be a genius. In other words, to come out of our shadows and into our gifts.
Okay.
The next 6, once you have that, like you really own all those shadows and you really work through them, then your heart opens. And then the next 6 attributes are what he calls your Venus sequence. And they are 6 attributes that refer to how your heart opens, how you attract people, what you were born with. They really are like the heart of the gene keys, like this is why and what we do with the gene keys. And once that heart is fully opened and we really express our gifts as the beautiful humans that we are, the last 4 of these attributes refer to our prosperity, not wealth. He says wealth is exclusive. It's only just for us. But prosperity is how we bring all these gifts for the betterment of our community. It's like it embraces the entire dynamic of humanity. So, so really, when I do a reading, you can go into the website and you can look at this. But most people just go, and they turn it off and they go running away because it looks complex, but it's really not. So I just sent you a copy of what we're going to be looking at. Do you have it? It says life's work. And there's a number underneath that says 8.5. Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, that 8.5, it doesn't really matter, the 0.5 for now, but you will see 3 words on the left side of that little ball. The shadow state of that little ball is mediocrity. The gift, when you come through that, you get the gift of style. No, it's not fashion, it's style. It's it's Alex's uniqueness.
I
What
love that word. That's like my favorite
it's
word. I used to
it's
always
your
say, I'm not weird, I'm unique.
and you are totally unique. I mean, I was looking at your keys and I went, "Oh my God, this woman! It's a beautiful profile."
Oh my god, I'm so excited.
Yeah. So then once you come through your style, then exquisiteness is at the top. Now, that always refers to like a divine gift. It's something you feel divinely. You can't work to get it. It's like a gift from the gods. But you probably have felt it in ceremonies or when you feel a very particular way about what you do in life, or it's exquisiteness. So, so these are harmonics, one of another. If you know about music, if you picture a piano keyboard, you can do do down here, do, 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 and then come up an octave and do do, 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 and another octave. It's the same note, it's just a higher frequency. Likewise, these three words are the same attribute in a different frequency. So as you come up through the frequencies, you come much more into your style, into your exquisiteness. So we're going to look at the is this the first page? Let me see. The first page, the second page, I'm sorry, where it says what you're here to do. Mm-hmm. It says, my life's work, what I'm here to do, Gene Key 8. So it says, you will have to make your life up as you go along.
I could tell. Yeah.
Yeah, that probably resonates. Like, boom. Because this is what you're here to do. This is different than the purpose, which is the fourth attribute we're going to look at. Okay. This is your life's work. So it doesn't matter what avenue you choose to work in, but this is how you're going to do it. You're going to have to make up your life as you go along. You can't plan anything. Sorry.
Oh my God.
I know, but you see, the serendipity of that is just gorgeous, because why plan when it's already worked out for you?
Right.
You came with that gift. It's in your genetic makeup. It's in your DNA.
This is just so funny. I just did a past life regression yesterday and channeled my higher self, and I wanted, again, every time I do a ceremony, it's, can I get clarity on where am I going? What is my path? What do I need to do? And my higher self said, just take it every day as it comes. Opportunities will present itself. The story's written. I'm like so frustrated, and then this is the first thing I see. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Well, this is you, baby. This is what you choose. You chose to come this way. That's really the point. This is your choice. This isn't something imposed by the gods, or no, you chose this genetic. Yeah. You chose these parents to give you these gifts, and then you're just molding them as you go. Yeah. This is how you're making your life. So he says, you are a bastion of uniqueness in a world where sameness is glorified. And you should enjoy the rush of excitement that gives you. Yes. Mm-hmm. Love it. So I think it's fascinating that that's what you're here to do, to be that. You see, it doesn't matter if you sit in a chair all day. That is, you are a bastion of uniqueness in a world where sameness is glorified. Love it. Yeah. Yeah. And it gives me the chills. And I love this woman. You need to hold your head high in life, never compromising your dream just because others or society calls you a fool.
I have been getting so attacked by other creators on social media saying, you are so dumb. You need a psychological help. You don't know what you're talking about. You're delusional. You're schizophrenic. I'm like, because I think differently? I'm not hurting anyone. I'm just seeing the world in a different way. And look at that.
And that is your gift for us. This is what you bring to us, Alex. I think it's a beautiful path. I really do. I think it's so... And I look at you and I go, oh, yeah, she's just... That uniqueness is so needed.
I love it.
In this world, it's so needed. It's beautiful. So never compromise your dream just because others or society calls you a fool. Never. Go ahead and be a fool. In the ancient wisdom traditions, the fool is the most revered of archetypes because he risks everything in being himself.
Yep.
And I know you're doing that.
Yeah.
I know you are doing that.
Yep. Yesterday, I had to set very strict boundaries with my family and my mom because she refuses to respect my boundaries. And she has the family trying to manipulate the situation, and I finally just exposed the truth about everything, and I said, I'm done protecting her. I'm 35 years old. This is who she is. I'm setting boundaries. Leave me alone. Goodbye. And I was like, I'm risking everything. But I don't care. Because I'm going to do me. Period.
Yay, good girl. Wow, I'm so glad, because when I when I do a reading and I hear stories like that, it just confirms.
Yeah.
That each one of these readings is like, every time I do one, I'm like,
mind blown.
Every time. This is why for me doing them is just such a joy, because I get to meet beautiful people like you.
Yeah.
Amazing people like yourself.
I love it.
It's just such an honor. So the path you walk through life cannot replicate in any way in any other person's life. So although you can and truly will draw inspiration from other rebellious free spirits, you need never follow or copy them.
Never.
Right.
I was doing hypnotherapy, and he said, oh, is there somebody that you look up to that speaks out, that you feel like you wish you could be like that? And I said, no, I don't follow people. I was like, I'm not a follower. I've always just been me. So no.
Well, there it is.
But yeah, I do take, like you said, like it says, like, yeah, definitely inspiration. I like to get inspired by others. I think people all have a gift, but I don't want to be like anyone.
Right. Yeah. And you're not. Yeah, you're your own uniqueness.
That's right.
I love it. You are your own guide. And the relationship with your inner essence is the most important thing in your world. You must trust in your dream and let your light shine.
Amazing. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So that's what you're here to do. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately, when we have work, all of us have this. We come here to do something special. But we will always be in the second little attribute, the second little ball. It's Gene Key 14. And these are your challenges. This is what is going to come up and hit you when you try to follow that dream. Mm-hmm. It's going to always, like an interference, a challenge,
a roadblock
of sorts. Mm-hmm. It depends on how you take it.
Right.
But what they are lessons. Mm-hmm. They're not here to bug you. They're not, it's just for you to open your heart and let that lesson in, because that will complement what you are doing with your life's work. Mm-hmm. So life's work, and here's your, what he says, evolution, your challenges. So your real issue in life is putting in all the work necessary to manifest your dreams.
Facts.
You need to realize that the secret to your success is effective support from people whom you trust. Mm-hmm. You cannot do everything on your own. You're probably, I'll do it. I'll do it because I know how I want it, and da-da-da-da-da. And, okay, just forget about it. I'm going to make it happen. Mm-hmm. But this is a challenge, is learning to delegate, learning to make sure that others do their part too. Mm-hmm. Because
I feel like during my first Aya ceremony, I had to learn to ask for help, and I think that's why I lost complete mobility of my body that weekend. I couldn't walk, I couldn't go to the bathroom alone, I couldn't do anything, so I kept having to ask for help. It was like I was born again and I was learning how to use my body, and I was like, I swear, she was like, you're gonna learn to ask for help because you never ask for help. When I got hired at my job, they said, what's your biggest weakness? And I said, I don't ask for help. I was like, I think I can do everything alone. And then I just got used to doing everything on my own, and I never asked for help. And like lately I've been realizing, like, I can ask for help. There are people, and my spirit guides have told me, you have the resources. There are people willing to help. So when yesterday I had the issue with, my family and blah, blah, I was like, you know what? I'm going to say everything because I'm tired of fighting this fight by myself. Like, everyone needs to know the truth, so that I need people. I need support. And so when I was able to express the truth, they were like, taken aback, and they're like, oh my god, we're so sorry, we had no idea. And then they were able to help me fight the fight, because I'm like, thank you. Like, this morning I said, thank you, God, like, I needed support. I finally don't feel alone in this.
Yay.
So yeah,
good girl. Yeah, but that is your challenge, to learn how to ask for that, to delegate when they say, "Oh, what can I do?" And you're like, "No, no, it's okay. I can do it." Of course you can. Of course you can do it all yourself. But that's not the point. The point is to bring about that community, right? When we give everybody a task that they'd like to do or they can do. That's how we build that community that you so need to support you on this beautiful journey that you're on. So it's a challenge. It's a challenge, but he says knowing where you want to go is not the same as getting there. One of your great gifts is your ability to allow others to feel involved without compromising your own unique direction.
Yes.
So that would be like the way you can do it. The way is, okay, involve them without compromising. You know, you're going this way, but they can do this little much. Okay, do that little much. I'll accept that help. And that will contribute to the whole thing that we are trying to do. So you don't have to like give up your soul so that everybody can be a community. No.
Right.
You just have to like let everybody be what they can be, how they can help, and that will contribute to your overall dream. I can see how that would be a challenge for somebody as competent and, able as yourself. Because, yeah, sure, you can do it all. But that isn't the lesson.
Right. Yeah, but I do feel like this definitely is true because with my TikTok, everybody says my TikTok is like a hub where people can find these other resources because I kind of bring everyone together like a community where I'm like, if you want to learn about this subject, you can follow this person because everybody has their like one thing they focus on and then they only focus and all their videos and information is about that one thing. Whereas mine, I just have a plethora of like, this is a big community, like find your person, find your thing, and then that way I'm not sacrificing myself, but they're also contributing their little bit to my thing, so it like definitely makes sense.
Wow, beautiful.
Yeah,
beautiful. And you do that with so much grace. I love it. It's beautiful. So therefore you need to use this gift to build the team around you that can take your aspirations and ideas to the level of manifestation.
Amen.
So, yeah, choose your team wisely, of course. Not indiscriminately because it's not wise to do that. But the folks that you see would be able to enhance that dream and complement their own. That's your peeps.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
your peeps. Yeah. Actually, I can do a gene key reading on all your peeps to see if they mesh. If not, then
Yeah, they definitely should.
If you choose let's say choose 3, 4, 5, 17. I don't know how many people would be in that team, but you have you have your gut feeling about people. So, but this is a really good key to have for the folks that surround you, so that you know how to actually use them the best so that they're happy in doing what they're doing.
Right.
So, cool. Your lesson in life is to learn to bend your own rules in order to accommodate positive change.
Yes, I'm learning.
If you remain ever flexible and still manage to hold on to your inner vision, you will flourish. You're in fact designed to flourish, but it's all a matter of balance. You have to work closely with others without ever compromising your own individual flair.
Yes. I really do feel like I was just saying this, I feel like my whole thing to learn is balance. And ever since I was little, I was obsessed with the yin yang sign. I wear it like every day. And I didn't know what it meant. It was just like my soul knew, and I would be so drawn to it. I would get keychains or jewelry or whatever I could, clothes with it. But because I was raised very Christian, my mom made me stop because she didn't understand it. And so she was like, that's not of God, and made me stop. And I was like, do you even know what it means? I mean, I didn't know what it meant, but I knew it wasn't anything bad. And so now it's like I'm back to my purpose. It's like, this is what I came here for. I knew within me it's all about balance. So Now I'm learning that.
Oh, beautiful. Now that Jinky, we should have looked at this, but it's a good time to do it now. The shadow of that challenge is called compromise.
What am I looking at? Am I looking at something?
Yeah, look, if you go back to the graphic with the little balls, and you'll see at the top we looked at your life's work, and then there's a green line that goes from that one to the next ball on your right.
Okay.
It says evolution. That's the one we just looked at. They complement one another. You get a gift, what you come to do, and you get that challenge, and that's represented by that second little ball. The shadow of that is compromise. So anytime you compromise, you kind of succumb to the challenge. But when you come out and above it, you're in your competence. You're competent, able to do whatever you want. That's your gift. That's your gift. And then the essence of that, the higher harmonic of that attribute is bounteousness. Bounty. All these words are very poetic.
Yeah.
Because he is a poet, the author, the original writer of the Gene Keys, and and he chose these words very specifically because not only are they poetic and beautiful, but they really denote how that is a divine gift. Like when you overcome all those challenges, you come into bounteousness.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. Now the next ball we're going to cross all over to the next green one. You see that on the... Oops, I lost it here.
Freedom, yes.
Okay, where is it? Yeah. So you will see now. Now this one, number 55. There are two very important gene keys in 1 through 64. One of them is number 22, and the other one is number 55. You have this gene key in your profile. It's freedom.
Yeah.
It is a very unique gift because in your DNA you have a very special message for humanity. You have it. It's a very special, special, special gift that you bring to us. You'll see that the lower harmonic of it is victimization, right?
Yes.
When you're, oh, poor me, and all that that we sometimes do. The higher harmonic is freedom, and then the gift, the essence is freedom. It is the only gene key that has the gift and the divine essence as the same. In other words, it doesn't change harmonic. It just goes from victimization to freedom. It's like boom. So you have it in your radiance, which is what keeps you vital, what keeps you healthy. So this is a really interesting point to have it in because whenever you aren't free, you probably feel sick or get sick.
Yes, my whole life. Very sick all the time because I wasn't being true to myself, and I just learned that I have gallstones, and I looked up what does the gallbladder represent, and it represents not following your gut instinct. So I was like, well, of course, it makes sense that I would have gallstones because I was never following myself, my true self. With freedom, oh, are you there? You froze.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. With the freedom thing that you're saying, this is very true. I did my reading or my session yesterday, and we asked like why people asked, my followers asked, can you ask in your session why are we so drawn to you? Because I show up in people's dreams. People like social media will constantly like push my stuff to certain people even though they hide me a lot, but there's certain people that are like, I don't even use social media, but you're the only person that shows up. Like, I don't know what it is, I feel like I know you. So I asked, and my higher self said, because I came here to remind people who they are because they've forgotten, and that it is really all about essentially freedom. It's about not allowing other people to trap you into their belief system. You have the answers within you. Free yourself from this mental prison that you're in, and realize that the consciousness is all one. And if we all just come together, we can have the life we want if we just work together for the greater good instead of attacking each other. Because attacking each other, we're doing what the system wants. Like, what are you doing? So it's so crazy that this is like, I'm so happy I did that yesterday and I'm seeing this today. That makes so much sense. Because I was questioning, I said, is this for real or am I making up these answers? And now it's like, no, this is like, it's verified now.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad that we did it today.
I know. Yes. Perfect divine timing.
Isn't it always? So this I just think it's fascinating that you have the Gene Key 55 in your radiance, in what keeps you healthy. Because it is such an important key for us humans. And not everybody has it, of course. There are very few. Well, yeah, I mean, of the 64, we all have 11. Some of us have 2 of the same repeated in different positions. But I had never seen somebody with Gene Key 55 in their radiance.
Really?
Never.
Oh my God. What's 22?
So, 22 is grace.
Amazing. I don't have grace.
Well, don't think it's grace like the posing grace. It is the grace of God. It is the grace of, yes. So of course you have it. We all have the 64. It's just prevalent in your profile. You have 55, nice. Which is the mother of a gene key because it speaks to us very loudly, all humans, and I'm saying that these 2 gene keys are so important because in Gene Key 22, the author writes extensively about our spiritual journey. Mm-hmm. And in Gene Key 55, he speaks extensively about the great change.
I knew it. Oh my God, I'm chills. I knew it.
About the great change. And you have it very, very, very deeply in your health. In other words, you represent in your health, in your vitality, this beautiful key.
Amazing.
It's just beautiful. I'm going to send you a couple of things about Gene Key 55 that are going to blow you away.
Oh my God, this is so crazy.
I know. This is beautiful. So he says there is a process at work within you that is far beyond the understanding of your mind. Mm-hmm. Your body may at times feel like a battlefield between the forces of light and darkness. Mm-hmm. You need to stand back and find a place where you are not pulled into the drama within you. Mm. Of all people, you are in the unique position to direct, witness the chemical changes that are now taking place within the body of humanity.
Wow, I literally said this yesterday. First of all, when I got back from ayahuasca, I felt extremely disconnected. I felt like somebody cut the wires in my head and I fell back into very low vibrational state. I don't know if it was something energetically happening in the air. I don't know if it was energy at the retreat. I don't know what happened, but I came back very low, very depressed, very questioning everything. Like, what am I doing? I had to really, and I kept saying, like, get back. It was like I was so, like, someone tried to put me back to sleep. So it took a minute for me to get back to myself. But where it says you're back, where is it? The direct witness to the chemical changes that are now taking place within the body of humanity. Yesterday with the session, she asked, like, oh, did these negative entities create COVID? And I had said, or my higher self said, no, they created the fear of COVID, because what is happening right now is humanity is evolving and ascending, and a lot of human bodies are not energetically strong enough to survive the changes. It's going to come with a lot of pain and suffering, and doesn't mean that the people who passed didn't ascend. It just means that their physical body was not strong enough to survive what is happening on the planet right now. So it's so crazy that is on here.
Well, and that is what I'm going to send you. Like he he puts it together, what you just said, and he says who is going to survive and why.
Wow.
And why the gene keys are so important in that evolution, because they allow us to come up from that shadow of a weakness, and it will allow us, if we actually do it, it will allow us to ascend and transcend. Wow. If we don't, well, we're going to just kind of die away like anything else, right? It'll just be part of that natural evolution. But some of us will be able to come up through all that morass of drama and illness and whatnot. Yeah. So you're on the ball, girl. Wow. You got it. You got it so clear. I'm so geeked. Oh my. So your body is enacting this process, which means that nothing you feel should be taken personally. Even though you may be tempted to blame it on others around you, right? So we have that shadow aspect of victimization. Oh, it's because of this, because my parents didn't love me, because they're never going to, because of my neighbor, because of the dog, because, we can sometimes explain it away. But it's just the body. It's what I wanted to say when you were telling me about the ayahuasca when you came back. Your body is going through those chemical changes. Mm-hmm. So, of course, it's dropping away all those things that you don't need. It's like a detox.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Even emotional, even spiritual. Mm-hmm. Like the depression, the listlessness, anything that you feel is not you, mm-hmm. will kind of fall away.
Yeah. It was so weird. It was like I came, because during ayahuasca I had no visuals. It was all purging. That's all it was. And so I felt like I was purging my trauma. I came back with like this horrible pain in my chest of like a fireball, and I had all these horrible symptoms from the medicine. Turns out somebody said, I think you had a gallbladder attack. And I was like, I looked at the symptoms and I was like, yes, I did. I had a gallbladder attack, which my lymph nodes were swollen recently. And one of my followers said, hey, I'm in San Diego. You can come by. I can do an ultrasound and check you out. While I was there, she said, hey, sorry, not to be weird, but I hear your spirit guides telling me to check more in your stomach area. So she did an ultrasound and found that I have gallstones. She said, just so you know, if anything weird happens, you might have a gallbladder attack. But because I was at ayahuasca, I didn't put the pieces together that I was having a gallbladder attack. I thought it was just purging from the medicine, and it could be, but what if it was working in that? You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have been working to remove that because it passed on its own, and usually when people have a gallbladder attack, they have to go get surgery right away. I didn't have to have surgery. It ended up passing, and it said it'll pass when the stone passes completely. So I guess I passed some of it. I don't know if all of it. But it's so crazy. So I came back, and then I was all out of sorts, and then I had a friend text me and said like, hey, I can't be friends with you anymore, pretty much, because of I was like, what? This is out of the blue. I was getting attacked with my mom, and then it was a lot of hate coming to me from the social media, and people were making videos about me, and I was like, what is happening? Like, what's going on? And so I was getting very low back into like the victimization, and I was like crying, and I was like, maybe I should give up. And people were like messaging me, like, please don't give up, please, we need you, like, you're the one helping us. And it was like I was drowning, and I was like getting pulled back out of the water. Like, that's literally how it felt, where I was like being put back to sleep. And I was like, okay, wake up, So it was intense. It was so intense. Yeah. It was, the dreams were crazy. They were feeling very real. I saw like houses with portals, and then like I heard banging on the door, and then I woke up and I thought it was really happening here. My heart was racing, and I was like, I don't know there was a lot going on energetically, but thank God I'm back. But it's insane. It's insane.
Good. Yeah, well, it's your body is going through that drama, but it's your body. He just says, don't take it personally.
Right. That's what I needed to learn is, don't take it personal, because like people get uncomfortable with what they do not understand. And that is something that I talked through integration after the ayahuasca. I was journaling, and I was like, they're gonna get upset because you are making them face things that they are not comfortable with. So they're going to attack you when they should just be looking at, why is this making me uncomfortable?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But even illnesses like that,
Mm-hmm.
like sometimes we introvert. Oh, what am I doing? What am I eating? Whatever. Don't take it personally. Your body is enacting the process, the chemical change that's happening in humanity.
Yes.
So you will feel it very deeply and very, very, like, in your cells. But yeah, don't take it. I know it's a bizarre thing for him to say.
Well, I understand what he's saying. Yes.
Mm-hmm. But if you take it personally, then you're gonna misunderstand the message, which is that you are transmuting the energy of humanity. You are. Mm-hmm. So yeah. If you really honor it as a gift, that you need to transmute this energy of humanity, then you're golden.
It's crazy because at both ceremonies, I took on the energy of the collective. So, like, if they were, I could feel their physical pain before they showed their pain. So, like, I would feel the nausea, but I didn't have to throw up, and then the collective started throwing up. At this one, and like anything else, I could feel it before it happened. And then in this one, there was one guy in night one where he was like vomiting, and he was like kept going, and he's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I was fine. I was on my mat. I laughed, and all of a sudden my body was like, take it for him. And I was like, fuck. I had to get up, go to the bathroom, and I'm sitting on the toilet while he's vomiting, and I can hear him because he's right next to that outside bathroom. And I'm just like, please. And then all of a sudden, the minute he stops vomiting, I stop. And I was like, you're welcome. It could have been worse for you. I took on half of your pain. And then I went back to my mat, and I told Sarah about it, and she's like, why do you feel the need to take on others' energy? I was like, I don't want to. My body just sucks it in. And it's like, oh, they don't feel good. Take on their pain for them. And I'm like, exhausted. So I have to learn how to protect my energy, because I feel like
you see, you don't take on, I want you to understand, you don't take on that energy. You're transmuting it. You see the difference between taking it on and transmuting it. You are changing that energy into something different. Mm-hmm. That's the gift. When you take on somebody's energy, you're just being an empath. Oh, right, whoopty. That doesn't really help as much as you take it on, and what you did, you went to the bathroom and you said, hey, done. Yeah. So he says, your health depends upon your ability to move with your feelings rather than away from them, allowing them without reacting to them. You see, you have a feeling, and you go, oh, shit, I'm feeling depressed. Or, you react to the feeling. Oh, I wonder why I'm depressed this morning. I wonder why I want to cry. No. Just own it. Just own it, because you're transmuting something. Mm-hmm. You're enacting that chemical change within the body of humanity. You are.
It's a lot. It's a hard job.
You chose it, girlie.
I know.
That's the way you wanted it.
Oh God, I know. No one to blame but me.
Well, you now that you said that, I think nobody to thank but me. It's a gratitude point. You should be grateful that you can do that. It's a transmutation is a very, very high gift. Transmuting energy is a very, very high, very beautiful gift, because you take, you change it, and you let it out. You don't keep it in there. It doesn't become cancer or some goofy thing. You just change it and let it go. You bring it in, change it, let it go. It's a beautiful gift.
That's so crazy.
So needed. Thank you for doing that.
My pleasure.
I love it. So, if you can express the way you feel without turning it into blame, you will taste freedom. No one alive has a greater understanding of human emotion than you. Give yourself time now. Changes are coming to humanity, and you will be one of the first to know what this really means.
Yes.
Wow, that's so beautiful.
That's so exciting.
Thank you for doing that, Alex.
Thank you for telling me that I'm doing that. No, I've been telling
God.
people. People tell me they're so scared, and I was like, "There's only good things ahead. You guys don't give up. There's so many good things coming." Yeah. So I'm like, I don't know what it is, but I feel it.
Well, you have it in your genetics.
Yeah.
You are one of the people that actually can feel this in your genetics.
Wow.
You can feel freedom in your genes, in your cells. It's like all the time.
And that's the gene key 55. Wow.
That's 55. I'm going to send you a couple of things about that gene key that are amazing. I mean, I would recommend you read the book and go through each one of your gene keys, but I know that not everybody's able to. Not everybody has the time. I've spent a couple of years doing this now, and I've read all the books, and I have a pretty good understanding of it. So that's why I like doing this, because I can kind of guide the thing. But for somebody like you, I recommend doing the whole thing.
Well, what's interesting, coincidental, not a coincidence. I had a follower message me today and said, "You should read this."
Ta-da!
And I said, "I'm getting a gene key reading today." And she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear what it is." I'm like, This is crazy. Wow.
Yeah. You definitely would. I mean, once you get the book, I can give you a few pointers on what to do with that book. That will make it just this beautiful, soft thing that will go right to your heart. But you can read it back to back. You can use it as a reference. You can use it as an oracle. You can do whatever you want with it. But it's pretty damn cool. It's so beautiful. Cool. It's just so beautiful. And then when you look at the website, genekeys.com, because there is so much data, I mean, because it reflects the whole spectrum of humanity. There's a lot of stuff in there, a tremendous amount. So dive into it if you can, but I'm going to send you some very particular, specific things that I think will be just a beautiful message for you.
Yay, I'm so excited.
Yay. Okay, now your purpose. What deeply fulfills you. So unlike, many other philosophical works where your purpose is what you came here to do, but no, that's your life's work according to the Gene Keys, the first thing that we read. Your purpose according to the Gene Keys is what deeply fulfills you, and that is Gene Key 59. And we're going to look at the three, let's say, states of that particular one. Dishonesty is at the bottom of the scale. It's a shadow. It's a shadow state of intimacy, because once it's a harmonic. So if you consider intimacy as not having sex and being all cuddly, but intimacy is like a real, true communication and openness with another or others, where you are completely yourself. And at the top is transparency. So you see how these three are harmonics of one another. So you have dishonesty at the bottom, intimacy, and transparency. So this is what deeply fulfills you.
100%. 100%. I've always been very open, and that is why my mom shut me up, because she said, "You talk too much. People don't need to know. Keep everything quiet." And I was like, "Why? Why does anybody have to hide who they are?" No, this is why I put everything on the internet, because I'm like, be open. Who the fuck cares, you guys? Be you.
Be you, right? Yeah, there's nothing like the truth, but in this case, that truth has a quality to it that is transparency. Sometimes the truth has a punch. Sometimes the truth has other characters, but yours is transparency. It's like an open book.
Exactly.
It's a beautiful thing. Wow. So the purpose of your life is to realize that the true nature of your being, right? The nature of your being is transparency. So that's the purpose. Now, I'm happy to know that you already know that.
I didn't know that was my purpose. I just knew that's how I was.
That's your purpose.
Crazy.
Your purpose
like I was like, oh, I've been in my purpose.
Yes.
Wow.
And that's why you have so much success and so many people surrounding you and so many people following you, because you honor that and you show it to the world, right? Although this may sound obscure, no, not, it is the final state that you are evolving towards. To move towards this state requires that you allow all of life's experiences to cut right into you. That's hard.
Well, my new thing is, which I did at the first ayahuasca ceremony, I was just looking at my vision board. I have it up on my wall, and one of the things I put on there was the only way out is through.
Right.
And that is like the thing I stick to now. And then I was on acid recently, and my spirit guides were like, go watch A Wrinkle in Time. I don't know if you've seen it or read the book.
Yeah.
I never was interested. I didn't care, but they were like, go watch it. And I watched it, and it was like my mind was blown. I felt like God was speaking to me through the movie. I felt like I met God. And when I said I feel like I met God, I looked at my phone. It was 11:44 on 7/22/22. It was all just synchronicity. And I was like, how the fact that like all the steps that had to happen for me to say, I feel like, this is what I said, I feel like God met his creation right now. And I look at my phone, and that's what I said. I was like, what the fuck? My mind was blown. And in that movie, it felt like I was watching my life play out, because it was her like realizing that the universe and everything is working for her, and like she just needs to call on the universe to like find this and find the right frequency of love, and she has to have confidence in herself. She doesn't need to change who she is, because the universe, everything that has happened for her to be here right now, who she is, it's perfect. You don't have to change it. And I was like bawling my eyes out watching this. And I was like, God is like speaking to me through this movie. And then she says one of her first challenges is she realizes, oh, I have to go through the storm to get to the other side. So I was like, oh my God, yes, the only way out is through. So now I'm like, oh my God, this is insane. So that's what it's saying. It's like, you gotta go into it.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, you allow all of life experiences to cut right into you.
Wow.
If you feel uncomfortable with anyone or anything, it is because something has come up against an aspect of yourself that you have not yet accepted.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's a tough one, isn't it?
Well, because I'm thinking, I'm like, if anyone or anything makes you feel uncomfortable, but I don't know how to say it, because sometimes people just do things that you're like, oh, this is giving me a bad vibe, or like with my mom, the way she acts with me is not, it's like abusive. So it's like, why would I? Yeah, that makes me uncomfortable, but I don't want to feel like I have to subject myself to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So let's read that again, because if you feel uncomfortable with anyone or anything, it is because something has come up against an aspect of yourself that you have not yet accepted. So we're not talking about mom. We're talking about you. So an aspect of you, she says, and you get angry. Well, you don't want to feel angry. Mm-hmm. That's not Alex. So that's the part that you're not accepting. It's not mom giving you some blah, 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 blah. It's your response to it isn't what you want to respond to. You see? Mm-hmm. The discomfort, he says, isn't with the other person. The discomfort is something is rising up in you that you have not yet accepted. Mm-hmm. Let's say that it's anger. You get really angry, mom, and you're like, ugh. Embrace that anger. Embrace it. Don't fight it. Don't go, oh, I'm sending it love and light. No. Embrace it. Accept the anger. Because in that anger, and I'm giving you a bad example, I know, but in that anger, you will find that thing that you're not accepting. Not about her, about you.
Right.
You see, it's not about mom. Because, she may not change. But you are the one called upon to change.
Right.
Change that thing in you that responds to those promptings from mom in a way you don't like. Mm-hmm. And maybe the mom aspect was not the right the right example. Maybe some other thing. Let's say that you get bombarded with calls and you know, I want to know this and I want to know. Then you're like, oh, you get impatient. I already told you guys, da, 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 and you get this this response that you don't like. Why am I responding this way?
Right.
You know? It's not. It's not what they're doing or saying. It's you, right? It's you. Your response to the thing. So just sit back and embrace that. Embrace it. Don't fight it. Don't send it away. Don't light a candle. Don't, just embrace it like, oh, Alexandra, you're mad. Good for you. You know what I'm saying? Don't fight yourself. Just embrace it. Honor it. Honor it. Because that feeling comes from somewhere. Like that anger with mom or that impatience or whatever it is that she makes you feel. It comes from somewhere. And you need to honor it and just like rest in it and just honor it, embrace it. It's something.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not talking about other people. We're talking about you.
Right.
If you feel uncomfortable now, if mom's blah 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 doesn't make you feel uncomfortable, then cool. But if something happens in you that you go, oh, why do I do this all the time? That's what you need to like.
Right.
See, if you surrender to everything that comes your way, life will shatter your heart into a state of openness. That's where you want your heart to be, totally open. Because that transparency is achieved that way. It'll shatter. Shattering is not some beautiful little flowering. It's not easy. It's not fun.
Right.
Shattering is shattering. It's like, whoa.
Yeah.
But it will shatter your heart into a state of openness. And that's where you really live. That's where you live, in that state of transparency and openness. But if you have all those little things that come at you that you're trying to fight instead of embrace, right? That's part of your heart. Just embrace it. You need to understand that there are no mistakes in life. Everyone you have dealings with is there to help you attain your purpose. Even mom.
I know.
Even mama. The more open you are, the less you will be ruled by unconscious fears. The hidden agendas of others do not concern you. The only thing that matters is that you remove anything within that prevents you from feeling love towards yourself and others. So honor that. Honor that, whatever feeling that is, and love it. Have gratitude for it. Thank you. Thank you for the anger because it's opening up my heart. You know, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, there we go, girl.
Wow. What
And
about?
that's just the first 4.
Oh, okay. Because I was saying, what about the middle stuff?
The middle stuff, I'm going to let you sit with these for a while.
Okay.
Okay? He says it takes a year just to really, you know, open up to these first, because they are your genius. They're your genius keys. So imagine living in the gift or essence level all the time with these 4 gene keys. Then your heart goes, and when that heart shatters open, then it's ready for the Venus sequence, which are the little red balls. Let's go back to that. So you see, we did the green ones, and they have an order: 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have your Venus sequence. And I'm just going to tell you about that first one, just to give you a little teaser. Attraction. That attraction is the first gene key, which is entropy is at the shadow level, freshness is the gift, and the divine essence is beauty. So, interestingly enough, that's your magnetism. That is how you magnetize people towards you, and that is what magnetizes you to others. Wow. It's a magnetic force within you. It's It's an actual electromagnetic force. And it comes from your heart. So entropy is like when you're all within yourself. It's nothing grows in it. And then freshness is like blooming like a flower. Mm-hmm. And it ends up in beauty, which you already are, a beautiful being inside and out. So this particular gene key expresses how you attract people. Like, you know, all of your followers, they see this beauty, this freshness, this thing that you do. Electromagnetism is something you feel, right? It's not something you can see. It's not visible. It's not how much makeup you put on. It's not, you know, the color of your hair. It's not. It is this beautiful thing that comes from within, right? And as expressed in your first 4 genius keys, of course, those first 4 will make an attractor field that's very powerful. Very powerful. So we're going to take a look at that. At some point in the future, you're going to call me and say, I'm ready for the next ones.
I want to know now. Oh, man, this is so interesting. Uh-oh. I lost her. Oh, no. See if she comes back.
Alex?
Yes. I lost you for a second.
Yeah, for a sec. Yeah, because they will talk to you ever more and more. I want you to read a lot about the 55 gene key. Okay. I think it's for you and your work. Yeah. I will definitely work with you on the next 6, which are the Venus sequence. But I think if you really explore these 4, a whole new portal of amazing data and spiritual incredibleness is going to open up for you. Wow. In a very particular way, because you obviously, when we looked at them, you already knew these things. Yeah. Now they have like a face and a name, if you will. Right. This refers to your life's work. These are your challenges. This is your radiance or vitality, and this is your purpose, what you came to do, what deeply fulfills you. So, I'm going to send you a few things that I think will be just absolutely marvelous for you. And then it's doesn't have to be some, you know, future, but I want you to dive into these because they're so beautiful. They're so important for not just for Alex, but that whole entire community that you're building. Mm-hmm. Will be all the more enhanced by this manifestation of all of these beautiful gifts that you have in your genius. Like your genius is your genius. Yeah.
Wow. It's so hard to not believe in this stuff, and the people who refuse to believe in it. I'm like, it's so obvious though. Like, how do you guys not believe in this stuff? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know, consider that a lot of people are in their shadow states, and the shadow states are really just manifestations of fear. Yeah. So fear is powerful because it closes our doors to everything. Yeah. And that's the poison of it. The poison of fear is that.
Well, that's the poison of this planet. That's what I was talking about yesterday, or when I was doing my session in my higher self. Said humanity needs to learn to stop living in fear. That is what is keeping them in the ego and the shadow self. And not saying that you're not allowed to have an ego. I think there's a misconception of like you have to completely shed your ego self. No, you're allowed to feel the feelings. In this life, you are your ego, but you guys have got to stop putting so much weight on it. Right. Wow. This is amazing.
Yeah, well, I'm so glad I got to do this with you, Alex.
I appreciate you so much.
You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. This was amazing, and it was perfect timing. Perfect timing.
I'm so glad.
Okay, so yeah, keep me posted on anything about Reiki because people are interested. And if people want to get a hold of you to do a gene key reading, where can they find you?
My phone number.
Okay. You want me to
My
just
phone number? Yeah. Or my Gmail, margarita.consultant@gmail.com.
Okay. Okay.
That's pretty easy. Margarita, like the drink, like the pizza, .consultant@gmail.com.
Thank you so much. You're amazing.
Alex, it was such a pleasure and such a joy.
Oh,
I'm going to be sending you, I don't know when, if today, tomorrow, whatever, a few things that you can read, that you can listen to, a few videos. You're going to love them.
I'm so
You're
excited.
so going to love them.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then get the book. Start reading that beautiful book. It's such a gorgeous read. It's so beautifully written. He's a poet. He's a mystic. He's so real. He's so goddamn real. I love him. So we'll keep in touch, babe.
Yeah, for sure.
I'll let you know about my Reiki classes and when I go to San Diego, which is probably going to be soon.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I might go live there.
Daida said he's moving here.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We're gonna.
Oh my God! If you guys are all here, I'll be like, yes, I manifested you guys moving here.
I love it.
I'm going to be so happy. That's going to be so exciting. Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
Okay, babe.
All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. You'll always be in my prayers. Thank you for what you do, and we'll talk soon.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay,